Hi everyone, welcome to August 2017. Wanted to pop in here real quick and do just a little bit of a hello. Let you guys know that as of now, private readings are back to normal. Thank you so much to all of those that ordered a private reading and put up with my nonsense. I had just a whole bunch of stuff happen right before I left Indonesia, which was like so typical of the whole experience there. Dealing with immigration. They held my passport hostage for like a month, and it was like the day before I had to go when I finally got it. So I spent like 3 days waiting, systems down in Jakarta and all this, like, I don't know, it was just like a total mess. But so thank you for those that put up with me. And yeah, so it'll be back to normal. Also, quick announcement for freebies for Leo, okay? Every month, whoever's birthday month it is, I will be offering free solar return reports. So if you order a tarot card reading, I'll include, it's like a 20-page report that talks about the themes for the upcoming year based on your birthday and your residence location, okay? So it's kind of like a snapshot analysis of things that you can expect with your specific transits and things like that. It's kind of a cool report. I ran one for myself for being here in Budapest on my upcoming birthday in September. And I don't know, it's kind of cool to look at. So that's available for you as well. I'm gonna be doing a Bali video, another one. I know I already did one regarding the astrocartography, and I'm gonna do another one now that I know a little bit more about it. Kind of analyzing what happened when I was there and kind of associating it with transits, things like that. And also being here in Budapest and how it really is going to be affecting my chart. And like I said, I am offering astrocartography analysis in a more simple form for some of you who are interested in vacationing or moving to a new city and whatnot, just so that you can kind of get an idea of how the planets will shift and the possibility of having different aspects of your personality kind of be activated based on where your planets are located. So it's kind of a cool thing. And I will be doing that probably in the next month, as well as my new astrological video for Venus. I did one on Chiron already, and I have a whole new format that I'm going to do for Venus, which I'm pretty excited about, because the first one was kind of just like haphazard, just kind of threw it together, but to hopefully make it more valuable for you so that you can understand how your Venus affects the way you love and interact with people and the way that you appreciate beauty and life in general. So keep your eyes open for that, and that's it. I'll let you guys go. Thanks so much. Bye. Hello Aquarius, how are you? Welcome to your August 2017 reading. Thank you so much for being here. Super excited to be doing this for you. Okay, I've already prepared the deck, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, Aquarius, I know we've got the eclipse happening in your sign this month, a lot going on. Let's see. 7 of Cups. Interesting place to start out, you know. How are you feeling? How are you thinking? How are you faring? How are things going? You know, it seems to be like just a lot of stuff and a lot of confusion, or a significant lack of clarity, and really not knowing which choice to choose. Now in love, this could mean multiple love partners. It could just mean multiple paths with your significant other. Maybe something is happening or something has occurred in your life that you can't make up your mind about how you really feel. There also seems to be a little bit of a lack of a sense of reality with this card. Like it's almost like you're living in a dream, or you're living someone else's life sometimes, you know, like how did this happen, or how did I get here, and what is the overall purpose and the overall goal, and you know, just a lot of questions that kind of stem up from a 7 of Cups place. And it's that understanding, I believe, that has not yet been acquired. That understanding of everything I just said, like what this means. You know, like you haven't quite reached that point, and I think you can sense it. You know, I think that you can feel that going on and being like, you know, this phase of my life, like it feels like it's over, but there's still something like clinging on. Like I feel like something is attached to you. and you're having a difficult time kind of breaking free from that energy. But you'll get there. The fact that this came out is a promise that it will come, right? It's on your mind. It's an energy. It's a presence in your life. This chapter, this phase of your life is turning. It is evolving. It just sometimes feels like the closer and closer you get, the further and further out of reach it seems. There's been some shakeup to your world, your physical world, okay? Some of you may have had, I kind of often see this as like a card of family. So family issues, maybe some health problems in your family. Maybe there was some money transaction or some transfer of money that didn't quite go through. It does speak to maybe having what you set out to do, okay, whether it's a financial goal or a love goal, doesn't matter, but you set out to what you were going to do. You were going to have everything. And then when you got everything, sometimes it's like, oh, well, that doesn't necessarily fit. It's not what I thought it was going to be. Sometimes there's a need to expend as well, to like have an outflow of energy or money or love. There needs to be an outflow, and sometimes you can feel depleted. You know, if you're not feeling like you're getting it back, you can feel like you're giving and giving and giving, and it's not being reciprocated. On the flip side, it can be a little bit of a selfish card as well, where you don't want to give, you don't want to share, you don't want to open yourself up and incorporate other people in what you have going on. And Aquarians, Geminis, and Libras, I was getting really weird vibes from them last month when I was doing the July readings. And there was definitely a very elusive, aloof vibe about them. And so some of you may be kind of going that route as well. And I think you're still just trying to figure stuff out. Trying to figure out your direction, trying to figure out how your significant other or your love interest or whoever, how this person plays a part in your greater story. You know, you haven't finished this chapter because you're not quite sure how to finish it yet. You may be letting people linger. You know, you may be careful of your treating other people like options, okay? Just be aware, just because I have the Seven of Cups there. So be sure that not only are you like trying to examine your options, but that you're not treating people as options if you don't view them as options. You know, if they're priority, treat them like priority. If you love them and you care about them, make sure they know that, okay? Because they might be getting that cold shoulder a little bit and misinterpreting. Here's your power to create, your power of, or your, you know, power of manifestation, your power to begin. Okay, so this isn't officially the Fool, but it is number 1, all right? So you kind of have the beginning and the end a little bit. And I feel like there's been that spark, like you felt that spark, but you just haven't quite embarked upon this journey yet. Whatever that journey is for you, whether it is a new love, whether it is a new career, a new place to live, whether it is a new creative idea, whatever it is, you've felt the inspiration, you've felt inspired, you've maybe even had the opportunity to begin, and yet you have unfinished business in this, like what happened before this. It's almost kind of like it's reversed. Like this really should be coming out in the past, and this should be coming out in the present moment. But it's like kind of this happened maybe a little bit prematurely. Maybe even some of you fell in love with someone that's not your partner, and you have to end a marriage, right? Or something like that. You're heading toward a period where you will have the opportunity to overcome. It's a very positive card, okay, when it's reversed. An opportunity to overcome these seemingly trivial and I don't want to use the word superficial because I don't think it applies here. But this seemingly frustrated, whatever these little things are, all right? Now, I'm not trying to trivialize and say that a marriage ending, for some of you, a marriage ending is not a big deal. It is, and especially if you love that person, you know, you want to be considerate for their feelings and for their emotions. Of course you do. But at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of like this is kind of coming out as a reminder a little bit that each of us is our own self. You are your own self. Your partner, your love interest is their own self as well. And, you know, sometimes the universe gives us things, or God gives us experiences, gives us sparks, gives us new directions, new projects, whatever. Because that's an experience that the universe wants us to have. You know, it's not ever an accident. It's not usually random. You know, if you believe in astrology and you believe in tarot and you believe in the, you know, the greater, whatever that is, then you know that it's all very purposeful, you know? And to view it as just something you just got to do, and not something that weighs so heavily on your shoulders, because you have a new path now that has begun. You didn't control this. This is not something that you choose to do. This is something that comes to you. Okay? So what you do with it is your choice. You're free to choose what you do with it. You can take it or you cannot take it. There's no wrong choice there. Okay? King of Wands. There's someone on your mind, a fire sign. Okay? Someone likely associated with this family or this unit situation, whatever it is. They kind of maybe gazing toward the past, you know. They might be having a hard time, like they're maybe clinging to something that once was, right? But they're a strong person. You need to recognize them for who and what they are. They are a strong person. They do love you deeply. They do care for you deeply. But at the same time, they are feeling good. And they may enjoy this new chapter of their own. Aquarius. Page of Swords, the new chapter, the page and the one speak well together. It's kind of like the page, the ace, and the one. They all kind of have this cohesiveness, okay? This is kind of like that freshness, the new beginning. I often see this as a card of freedom, okay? Now, I don't know if you necessarily are feeling chained or locked in or obligated. I'm not seeing really heavy energies like that, but just freedom to go, and freedom to explore, and freedom to experiment, and freedom to learn, and to have new, and that's a very Aquarian thing, right? You have a very forward thinking mind, and it's not that you don't feel love, it's not you don't have loyalty, because Aquarians can be so loyal, you know, and it's not that. It's just that something came in and you have this curiosity in you, and you want to explore, and you want to sense, and you want to have a new adventure of some kind. And I also don't, and for some of you, it's not that you want to leave anyone behind, you know. The devil is coming out prominently this month. A lot of with the eclipses, and a lot of with, you know, we have got Mercury retrograde coming up as well. And Saturn is going back direct, which will be great. This is reverse, so it's setting free. Choosing to not remain. Choosing to close this chapter. You know, you're feeling stuck because this one wasn't complete before you got this. So it just kind of happened in an inconvenient order. You know, it just didn't happen in the right way or the right fashion. and maybe someone will get hurt in the process, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's you are your own person and they are their own person as well, in spite of some of these commitments, you know, which are essentially a man-made concept, these man-made concepts of committed relationships. And I'm not trying to trivialize this or anything like that, so please don't be mad at me and talk that marriage is sacred and all that. That's, you know, that's a belief system. But you are your own soul, and so are they. And you each are here on this planet, on this earth, in this physical body of yours to have certain experiences and to learn and to become a more refined spiritual entity. Okay? This is you, I believe it's you setting yourself free from something. There's an essence of freedom here. Setting yourself free from obligations, setting yourself free from demands, no longer accepting the position of your, or the state, I guess, if you will, no longer accepting the state of your physical reality and choosing against it, choosing against something, choosing freedom, choosing liberty. May it be inconvenient for some people. Yeah, maybe. What's that famous Shakespeare? All the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. So when you think about it like that, you know, we're all just kind of in this big play. It's that epitome, that idea of the holographic universe, right? We're all kind of in this perceived reality. And these players come in and out of our lives, and we can create the commitment, or we can create to not have the commitment, or we can, if it's not commitment for you, if it's not like marriage and relationships, it's just commitment to anything, commitment to a process or a project, commitment to a part of yourself, whatever it is. That's just, I feel like this is a really weird reading. It took a really weird turn really quick, but hopefully it can make sense for you in some way. Another card, I see the Knight of Cups as being a card of freedom as well. Freedom of love, okay? Freedom to love and freedom to be, freedom to experience the pleasures of life, okay? To let yourself love, to be directed by your heart. Because being an Aquarian, which is so driven by the mental aspects of who you are, when you have an emotion or when you have a magician moment that is emotional, it's like a force that has come, and it's like a big wave that just comes and washes over you. And it becomes uncontrollable, and it becomes almost an obsession to follow your heart. But it requires some type of an ending. It requires some type of a closure, which is what's getting in the way, is that I don't think that closure has quite occurred yet. And that closure may be painful, it may be difficult, you know, it may be really, really hard. It's likely that you haven't made any decisions quite yet. Hence the Seven of Cups in the middle. You haven't made decisions, you haven't decided on a direction yet, because you're just kind of trying to feel your way through it, but you know that you must detach yourself from something, and that detachment can require a lot of, like, it's kind of like a belief system becoming shattered. You know, the breaking of the illusions of, this is kind of like realizing that something that was so real before really isn't real. Whoa, okay. Judgment. Seeing 10 and 10 in the foundational position, but these are opposite. These often come out together. But they are kind of, you know, showing that the reality aspect of what you had, of where you're coming from, was maybe in essence a little bit of like chasing rainbows. And you realize, because the rainbow is just an illusion, right? It's just the fragmentation of light. It's not tangible. You can't touch it. If you were to touch a rainbow, it's just like air. It's that perfect holographic type of image, right? And once you realize that that physical part of it, or that reality part of it, is just the rainbow, it's kind of like, whoa, everything I thought is not actually how it is. And some of you who are in relationships, you know, and you are questioning whether or not this is a relationship for you, right? Because that's what the devil is. It's like that detachment from the current state, the detachment from what you believed, a belief system, detachment from a family or a unit, and really realizing and understanding your true essence of individuality, okay? 10, 10, 10. Both of these speak to illusions at times. Now, this can be the ultimate fulfillment, the ultimate happiness, but it's like you could have had everything that you thought would have made you happy, but in reality, it's not all it was cracked up to be. It's not what you thought it was going to be. I really sense that there's a difficulty with that choice, right? Which is kind of why it's delaying, or why this world is in your challenge position. Now we have number 20 and 21, but number 20 is also challenge. So you've got this, like the last leg of the 1 through 21. The 20 and 21 are holding you back from really exploring this new thing, okay? 20 reversed is like you've hit a choice moment, and you're really, really hoping, or really, really wanting some type of enlightenment. Like you want to almost kind of see the outcome of each route before you make that decision. Like it's like you're not going to make the decision unless you know what the outcome is going to be. But the universe doesn't work like that. Okay, it doesn't work like that. So you're going to have to make the choice. And the longer and longer you stay in these little coffin things, I mean, you have to emerge from the darkness before you can be enlightened. And that's what this is about. This would be you kind of emerging from the darkness and changing, making the change that you are being directed to change. I'm not saying every opportunity has to be taken. Like I said, there's no wrong choice, but you must choose nonetheless. The universe has given you something. It's like it's waiting for you to see what you're going to do. And if you go toward this person, okay, you go toward this person, all right, well then that's a new path, and then the universe can give you new opportunities along that path. Or you cannot fight it, and you can go toward where your heart is really wanting to go, and the universe will give you new opportunities for that. I'm not saying one is better than the other. Either path, you're going to still encounter challenges and whatever, and you're going to have easy times and you're going to have difficult times. That's how life is. Life is just cycles upon cycles upon cycles, but you must choose, because the longer and longer you don't choose, and the longer and longer you choose to stay in this little coffin, the more like gut-wrenching it's going to feel when the tower hits, because eventually you're going to hit the tower, and the universe is going to force you to do something, and it's going to be that much harder, okay? I'm not trying to scare you guys. See, you're not taking it. You're not taking it. He's got the wand here. He's been inspired to take something, and yet, no. There's a rejection of it. 5 and 5. 5 and 5, 10. 5 and 5, 10. 10 and 5, 15, 10 and 5. 5s are challenged, okay? They're hard places to be. But the place that you're in, which is likely feeling like you're in an unfair place, like the universe gave you something that wasn't fair, plain and simple, that is purely your perception of what is happening, okay? It's important to remember, and as an Aquarian, you have an ability to do this like no other, okay? Your mind works in such a big way that these abstract type of concepts probably will be like no problem for you. But there's something bigger at play, like there's a bigger story happening here. And what you're hitting against right now, whatever this is just one aspect that thickens the plot. So to you, what may feel insurmountably difficult, is that a thing? Insurmountably difficult? I don't know. Really difficult. Is in essence not as difficult as you think, or not as difficult as you're making it. Some of you may have to hurt someone. You may have to reject someone, but that is their story. It's a part of their life. It's a part of what the universe has in store for them. Okay? And I know this is really hard because we all want to be responsible, and we all want to care for people, and we all want to love people, and we all want, you know, to be connected. Okay? And I know that. But you can't live your life based on someone else, right? Because that gives them control over your life, and that's not the reality of it. You have control over your life. So to dedicate your life to the happiness and goodness of someone else is kind of shoving it back in the universe's face. And it's gonna play out in ways that, you know, it's gonna make you keep hitting these brick walls. Well, what did I say about the Tower? The thing is that I feel that this person, this Leo energy, but it could be any fire sign or anyone with like a really strong personality or a very strong spirit, seemingly strong, okay? Maybe they're not as strong as they let on, okay? There's a crack in that foundation there, okay? There's a crack there, and I feel that there is a lot of drama, or you're perceiving there being a lot of drama, okay? But that is also, again, perception. I think I'm saying a lot of confusing things. I don't know why this reading's coming out so confusing. But it's like the problems in your life are only as big as you make them. Same for them. They might be making it way more a big deal than you're making it. I'm sensing a lot of like an ending of something and someone's not happy about it, is what I'm sensing. Or someone's putting their foot down about an issue and someone's not happy about it. And maybe they're throwing a temper tantrum, or maybe they're playing the victim, or I think they are probably being dramatic about it. But there definitely was a crack in that foundation to begin with. Like it wasn't as solid as you thought anyway. And justice reverse. See, justice is like natural law. It's essentially God's law. It's the law of consequentialism, right? We are all living in a world of consequence. And when you really think about it like that, it makes the choice a little bit easier sometimes. Like you can't fight this. Consequences, like there's no, I think no one would argue the fact that if we make a choice, there will be consequences. No one's going to argue that. That's how the universe works, good or bad. So if you're trying to run away from consequences, right? Hurting someone, there will be those consequences. Not hurting someone, but hurting yourself, there's going to be consequences. Standing still, there's going to be consequences, because inaction is as much of an action as an action, right? You can't avoid this. And will it be fair? Not seemingly fair from a microscopic perspective. But when you look at it from, this is the story of my life, and ultimately the universe wouldn't have given me this if there wasn't a reason for it. And to trust the process, you know, trust the process. Life is all about cycles, ups and downs. You may be hitting a little bit of a rough part of it. It's part of life. It's what happens. Because wherever your physical reality is now is not serving you. Doesn't mean you haven't done a lot. Doesn't mean you haven't invested. Doesn't mean you haven't accomplished. But be careful of how you're looking at your investment here. Because your investment does not dictate, does not determine your decision. You know what I mean? Like, if you're so afraid of losing what you've invested, then the universe is going to make sure that you get more of losing. Because that's what the universe does. That's kind of that law of attraction concept. You know, you say, well, I don't want to lose what I've done. I don't want to lose more money. I don't want to lose more time. I don't want that time to go to waste. Well, that projects that the time was a waste. The energy was a waste. And then it's just going to give you more wasteful opportunities, you know? It wasn't a waste. If you're dissatisfied, then why are you so afraid of taking this new opportunity that's come your way? Three of Pentacles reversed. I think you're afraid of the talking part. Afraid of the talk. I think you would just be happy if you could just leave and not deal with it and leave the rubble behind you, because there will be rubble. You're going to have to, but no, you can't do that. Right? Because you do have karma after all. And karma doesn't say you can't hurt people's feelings, you know? Karma doesn't say that you can't be honest and be a little bit harsh. That's not a bad karma thing. You know, if it's in the best interest and not trying to hurt the other person, ultimately it's the good thing. The kind thing to hurt someone kind of thing, as weird as that is. Don't be afraid of the conversations that must be had. Don't be afraid of that sense of, you know, I don't know if you're afraid of someone not liking you or you're afraid of this, but there's only going to be another one of these if you don't deal with it now, if you don't start rebuilding from here now. Again, another kind of indication of the investment not paying out, not getting what you originally signed up for, what you thought. Again, there's that essence of that illusion there. If your reality isn't reflecting back ultimately what you want, you need to change that reality. This is a hard reading. It's a hard month, guys. Last month was hard too. It's been like a hard 6 months. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I can't wait for the month where I talk about new love coming in and everything's good and like, wow, everything's gonna be fair, and you know, I can't wait for that month. I've had a couple months like that over the course of my doing this. I definitely have. But things are serious now. Things are really serious. You're kind of being forced to take life very seriously. Okay, yeah, here's that same person there. Like, I feel like you are going to have to be a little bit selfish, you know, or seemingly selfish. I don't think it actually is selfish. I just think that it's like duty almost, because again, the universe wouldn't have given this to you if it didn't want you to make a choice. Now, you don't have to choose to leave this person. You don't have to choose to, you know, hurt this person, but you would have to choose to be with them, but not to be with them but still wanting something else and, you know, one foot out the door kind of thing. That's not really a choice, right? That's kind of physically doing one thing but mentally and emotionally doing another, and that's gonna, again, that lack of alignment between your heart, mind, and action is going to cause more of this and more of this and more of this judgment reversed here, right? That's the Holy Trinity, the heart, the mind, and the actions. They all must be in line. So if you're doing something just for the sake of obligation, but your mind is like, your heart is like totally in a different place, you're not being true. You're acting against truth. And you know what happens when someone acts against truth? Justice reversed comes in and makes things unfair. It's the consequence. You need to be honest. I think a lot of you have a lot of unruly stuff happening inside of you right now. You're having such a difficult time understanding what it's saying, causing this weird aloof behavior. And you're trying not to make the wrong decision, you know? But like I said, there really isn't a wrong decision, but you need to be committed to your decision. And, you know, you'll need to not be so fearful of, I want to say fearful of like the disappointment almost. You need to not be so fearful that the reality is not what you thought. I don't know why that came out. I don't know what that means. Let me just keep going. You can't be two people. You can't have the inside and the outside be different and coexist and be at peace. It doesn't make any sense. They must be equal. They must be balanced. So two cards, lack of balance and trying to keep the balance. You're trying to keep everyone happy. You're trying to do the right thing. But by continuing to try to do the right thing, it's reversing both of you. I know you care a lot about this person. I know you do. But your mental and emotional absence is hurting them. Your actions are meaningless. The physical behavior, the calling them, the being with them, it's not helping them because you're not fully present. So this is your internal covenant to uphold the divine masculine and the divine feminine in your physical world, right? And what your thoughts and your mind, which is the masculine and feminine, what your divine masculine, divine feminine, they combine in your body, in your brain, and it is that living in honor to what they're telling you. I know that your heart and your mind are someplace else. They're in a different place. They're with someone else. They're toward a different goal than what you originally decided. It's toward a new project or toward a new passion, but you're restricting yourself. You're holding yourself back because of obligation or because you don't want to hurt someone. But by doing that, you are just hurting them even more. You, in essence, are kind of imprisoning them, holding them hostage instead of setting them free. Now, likely they don't want to be set free, you know, or it doesn't have to be a person. It can be, you know, doesn't have to be a love interest. But they don't want to be set free. But they also don't want to be in a relationship where their partner is thinking about something else, you know, so it's like pick your poison. I think they'd rather be free. And you need to uphold that honor within yourself. That covenant that you made with your divine masculine, divine feminine, when you became a physical body. The promise that you made to be a good, moral person. And good and moral doesn't always mean being nice. And here's that divine feminine in physical form. It's like the high priestess in physical form. Okay? The emperor is like the magician in physical form. So your intuition is speaking, all right? I know you're afraid of uprooting. You're afraid of letting go. You're afraid of detaching. You're afraid of this Four of Wands reverse. But I think you're also hopeful of that as well, because that's the essence of the Page of Swords, is that freedom, that fresh air, being able to breathe again. And really tapping into this. And see, you're coming out as the Pentacles and the Earth. This is like card of Taurus and Libra. But, you know, she's earthy, the goddess Venus, Earth, okay? I'm sorry, she's not the goddess of Earth. It's like Venus, but like Mother Earth, okay? Or Mother Nature, if you will. And she, I don't know why I'm losing this. Like, it's kind of like right on the tip of my tongue, but it's not coming out. She's, the queen of the harvest and reaping what you sow. And right now you're very much in like planting season, okay? And there's like, the seeds have been planted. But if you don't nurture them and you don't care for them and you don't acknowledge them or respect them, then what you sow or what you harvest is going to be more of this. The law of consequence, okay? Listen to what your intuition is saying. Don't take these things for granted. You know, they come in powerfully for a reason. They come in with force for a reason. It's no accident that they're coming in so strong. It's a path for you. It's an option. But don't be treating people that you love and care about as an option. You know, they can sense that. They can pick that up for sure. But I feel that there is someone, you know, on the other side of this. Like, it's almost like there's two people, male or female, doesn't matter. But, you know, this is kind of the person that you're with, but then you're being drawn or led to this person. And if it's not a separate person, it could be a version of yourself, okay? Because these are very similar. You're being drawn to the part of yourself that wants more out of life, that wants more product, if you will. I guess you want more. You just want more. Tough reading, guys, but not too bad. And, you know, take it in stride. You know, you don't have to do it all at once, but you have to do something. Okay, you have to do something. Alrighty, I will leave you with that. I wish you guys nothing but the best this month. Thank you so much. Take care.